Welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. The Musicians of Bremen. Once upon a time, there was an old donkey who was ill-treated by his master. He had spent all his life serving him and was now very old to carry out the work he had been doing all the time. Tired of such unkindness, the donkey decided to run away. He decided to go to Bremen, as he had heard that they were looking for singers with the town band. He thought to himself, "With a fine braying voice like mine, will definitely be in demand there." He started his journey. On his way, he met a skinny dog covered with sores. Pitying his condition, the donkey asked him, "Come with me if you like. I'm heading to Bremen to sing. If you have a good bark, you'll be able to find a job too." The dog, having nowhere to go, readily agreed and joined the donkey on his way. A little later, the duo met a stray cat. She was old and had no strength to catch mice. They narrated their story to her and offered her to join their band. The cat agreed, and the trio walked hopefully towards the town. As they passed a farmyard, they stopped to admire an elderly cockerel who, with outstretched wings, was crowing to the skies. "You sing well," the dog told him. "What are you so happy about?" the cat asked. "Happy?" muttered the cockerel, with tears in his eyes. "They want to put me in the pot and make a brat of me. I'm singing as hard as I can today, as tomorrow I'll be gone." The donkey empathized with the cockerel and said, "Join our band. Run away with us. With a voice like yours, You'll be famous in Bremen. The cockerel readily jumped on the donkey's back, and the four of them continued their journey. The way was long. Their destination was still far. The sun had set, and the four creatures found themselves very frightened in a thick forest. The four domestic animals had no idea how to survive in the forest amidst the wild animals. They were in a constant fear of being attacked. They were confused whether to rest in a cave or to continue on road. Suddenly, at a distance, they saw a light amongst the trees. They went further to check and saw that it was coming from a little cottage. They went close to the cottage and saw an open window. They were anxious to see what was happening inside. Therefore, the donkey placed his front hoofs on the window ledge. The dog jumped on the donkey's back, and the cat climbed onto the dog. Finally, the cockerel flew on top of the cat. All the four creatures were able to see what was happening inside the cottage. Well, the cottage was a hideaway of a gang of bandits. They were busy celebrating the success of their recent robbery and were having a huge feast. The donkey and his friends were very hungry and became very excited when they saw food on the table. Upset by the jittery crew on his back, the donkey stuck his head through the window and toppled his three companions onto the lamp. The light went out. The room rang with the braying of the donkey, the barking of the dog, and the snarling of the cat. The cockerel joined the band and screeched along with the others. Taken completely by surprise, the terrified bandits fled from the cottage, screaming, "The devil! The devil!" The abandoned meals of those bandits ended up in the stomach of the four friends. After having a delicious meal, the donkey and his companions went off to sleep. Just then, one of the bandits crept back to the now quiet house. He returned to take the precious things his group had dropped, and also to find out what had happened earlier. He opened the door with a pistol in his hand. He was very scared to enter, but still mustered up the courage and walked towards the fire. However, mistaking the glow of the cat's eyes for burning charcoals in the dark, he thrust a candle between them. Instantly, the furious cat sank its claws into the bandit's face. The man dropped his gun and fell backwards onto the dog. The dog leapt up, sensing danger, and his sharp teeth sank into the bandit's leg. When the donkey saw the bandit's shadow approaching the door, he gave him a tremendous kick. The bandit went flying right through the doorway. The cockerel greeted him by pulling his hair with his strong pointed claws. "Run for your life!" screamed the bandit. "Run! Run! Run! There is a horrible witch in there who scratched my face. A demon bit me on the leg. A monster kicked me, and..." The other bandits were no longer listening, for they had taken to their heels and fled. The donkey, the dog, the cat, and the cockerel took over the house without any trouble. The bandits never dared to enter that cottage again. The animals owned all the precious jewels left by the bandits. It was due to those jewels that they always had food on the table. The four of them lived happily and contented with one another for many years.